The first time I heard my sister's voice outside the cabin, I smiled. That lasted about 4 seconds. She lives 300 miles away. She doesn't know where this cabin is, and her voice was coming from the tree line at 11:30 at night, in a forest with no signal and no road close enough for a car. But it sounded exactly like her. It called out from the trees using her voice. "Hey, come outside for a second." I set down my coffee, walked to the window, and pressed my face against the glass. Nothing. Just pines and the kind of silence that presses against your eardrums. I told myself it was a hiker. Sound carries weird in the mountains. I told myself a lot of things in those first few minutes because the alternative was something I wasn't ready to think about. Then it spoke again, still using her voice. "It's cold. Can you bring my jacket?" Same cadence, same tone. The way she drops the end of a sentence like she's already bored of it. Identical. Every single thing about it was my sister, except she's never said jacket. Not once. She says coat. Always has. A small thing, an almost nothing thing. But I noticed it. I stepped back from the window. I didn't go back. I didn't want to give it a shape. I stood in the middle of the kitchen with the lights on and just listened. The refrigerator hummed. A branch tapped the roof. Then it called out again. "I'm just past the porch. Come help me." Closer. By maybe 30 feet. Almost perfect. Almost her. But she wouldn't say past the porch. She'd say out front. She wouldn't say come help me. She'd say come get me. At first, I thought it was random. Then I realized it wasn't. One word. Every time, one word wrong. I want you to understand how specific this felt. It wasn't a bad impression. It wasn't close, but not quite. Everything else, the breathing, the rhythm, the warmth in her voice was exact. Whatever was out there had studied her. It knew how she moved through a sentence. It just didn't understand meaning. Not fully. I turned off the porch light. I don't know why. Some instinct. Like I understood, somewhere deeper than thought, that I should not be seen. My truck was parked outside, about 20 feet from the door. Keys in my pocket. I thought about making a run for it, but that meant opening the door, and I didn't know if I could reach the truck before it reached me. So I stayed where I was. I sat in the dark for a long time. Then it moved to the side of the cabin, beneath the bedroom window. So close I could hear pine needles shifting under its weight. It spoke again. "I just need to see your face." That's not something she would ever say. She'd say, "Let me in," or "Open the door, I'm freezing." Something impatient, something practical. Not that. The phrasing was wrong, strange, and it sounded almost desperate. Like it was trying something new. Like it was learning what didn't work. I moved to the center of the cabin, away from the windows, and sat on the floor with my back against the couch. I counted my breathing. Do not respond. Do not make a sound. Do not let it know you're here. Silence. Then it spoke again. "I know you're scared." My sister's voice, but not her words. She'd say, "Stop being weird," or "Don't be a baby." Not that. But it worked anyway, because it was true. I pressed my hand over my mouth and stayed very still. More silence. I started to think it had gone. Then it moved to the front door. So close, I heard its breath shift before it spoke. "Just open the door, it's me." No mistakes. Nothing wrong. And that was the worst part. Because I understood what it meant. It had been listening to me, learning which words made me react, correcting itself in real time. I hadn't just been listening. I'd been teaching it. The door handle moved, not turning, just a slow, careful pressure downward. Testing. Patient. I haven't moved from this spot. The lights are off. Still no signal. Outside, it's quiet again. The kind of quiet you get when something stops pretending. I've been listening for a long time, and I keep thinking about one thing. At some point, it stopped making mistakes entirely. And I don't know if that means it learned, or if it doesn't need to pretend anymore. Don't respond to anything that sounds almost right. Almost right is the warning.